Welcome to GDs, and this is Good Girls Season 1. Season starts with V getting to look into life of three friends. Annie is a single mom and is working at a supermarket. She has a creepy boss, and her ex-husband wants the sole custody of their daughter as he thinks he will be better able to take care of her. Next, we have Ruby. She works at a diner while her husband Stan works in mall security. He is trying to get into the police academy, and their daughter is quite sick and she needs an expensive treatment. And finally, we have Beth, a stay at home mom. Her husband, Dean, owns a car showroom. One day, she discovers his car to be maxed out, and as she looks into it, not only she finds he is having an affair, but also learns that they have multiple mortgage on their house. And when she asks Dean about it, he lets her know that he had made some bad investment and lost the money, thus was not able to repay it, and they might now even lose their home. Annie casually brings up a plan of robbing her mart, as it has very low security, and it will be a victimless crime. Since everything is insured, they, being scrapped for cash, decide to go for it. With some hiccups, they manage to pull it off, but Annie's manager was able to identify her because of her tattoo. As they return, they are surprised to see that there was much more cash than they anticipated and are now a bit afraid. They split the cash, and Ruby gets her daughter started on the expensive treatment and tells her husband that they received cash through an anonymous donation. Beth pays off her husband's mortgage and gives money to his assistant and asks her to leave since she was having an affair with him. She also kicks her husband out and tells him to sleep in a motel, and Annie buys herself an expensive car and gifts for her daughter. Her manager, Leslie, confronts her and tells her if she takes care of him, he won't go to the cops. But the day is saved as her daughter was home. Besides being friends, Beth and Annie are also sisters. And when Leslie returns the following day, Beth was there and she was able to save Annie. But as Leslie was leaving, he threatened them to go to the cops, and Beth knocks him out with a bottle. And they tie him up and keep him in the treehouse. They also get a visit from the gangster Rio, as it was his cash they stole and he wants it back and gives them some time to arrange it. Even after pooling all the resources, they are short and come up with a plan to rob Leslie's grandmom, as she doesn't trust the bank and has cash at home. But as they go through her house, they get to know her, and Beth was not able to go through with it as they can't rob an old lady. Leslie manages to escape, but they chase him down, and Annie takes a photo of him pulling his pants down and sends it to Ruby, but tells Leslie that if he ever goes to the cop, she will show them this photo and tell them that he sent it to his 11 years old daughter. When Rio returns, getting to know they were not able to arrange the cash, was going to execute them, but Beth is able to talk her way out of it and makes him understand that they are a good resource. Rio is sold on the point of them being a resource and tells them that he wants a package from Canada and they need to get it. Not sure what the package could be, they decide to steal a car from Dean's showroom and cross into Canada. They get the package, and while they were returning back, they are stopped at the border by customs. Afraid and not knowing whether it's guns or drugs, they look worried while the police dog goes through the stuff. But they get a all clear and are quite surprised. And when they go to deliver the product, they find it was a gift wrapping paper being printed with fake currency notes. Afraid that the car might lead back to them, they dump it in a lake. Beth, getting to see all that cash and finding a thrill in it, goes back to Rio and lets him know that she wants to work for him. The next day, an injured man shows up at Beth's house, and Rio tells them that he is one of his men and they need to take care of him. But when he wakes up, he rushes out of there. They also approach Rio and tell him that they want to clean his fake cash and in return want a cut of it. And Rio gives them their first shipment, and they clean the cash by buying stuff from the supermarket with fake currency, and when they return the stuff, they get clean currency. Meanwhile, Dean wants to return back home and tells Beth that he has cancer, while Ruby, getting into an argument with a customer, gets fired from her job. They, after putting in so much effort in cleaning cash, feel they're earning very little and they're ready to take in more cash, and he provides. To convert more cash, they need more hands, and thus they recruit the neighborhood moms and let them know that they will be working for a corporate company under a secret buyer program, as they want to test out their customer service. And with some convincing and letting them know that they will be independent, they set up a process and are now converting millions. Meanwhile, Leslie has been following them, and he goes to the FBI and lets them know that they are involved in some illegal stuff, as he saw them stealing a car and going to Canada. He also shows the FBI the photograph of Rio visiting them, and Agent Turner lets him know that they will look into it. FBI has been investigating Rio, and getting to know his involvement with the moms, Agent Turner visits Beth. Beth tells him that she will get back to him since she can't talk in front of her kids. Beth goes to his office and lets him know that she had an affair with Rio since her husband was cheating on her, and she has ended it now, and thus she couldn't say anything in front of her kids. Meanwhile, Annie gets close to her ex for one night, while Stan finds out that Ruby was fired from her job and is quite upset. But Ruby tells him that she did not want him to worry and has started a new business and they are earning good. The car they ditched was recovered by FBI, and as they go to Dean's office, he lets them know that her wife has stolen it and went on a joyride since she was quite upset learning that he had an affair. And when Dean confronts Beth with this and wants to know what she has been doing and how she has been earning cash, Beth lets him know everything. And Dean thinks that his wife was taken advantage of, and Beth lets him believe that. Their business plan is been doing good and they are enjoying the spoils of their business. Rio confronts them as he finds that some of the cash was not clean. It is when Rio learns that they had been using many hands and is quite upset and wants them to give him a name. But Beth lets him know that they will take care of it and gets things sorted. And as they look into it, who has been cheating them, they find it's Mary Pat. And as they visit her to let her know that she will no longer be working for them, they slip up and she is able to figure out that they have been doing something illegal and now wants them to pay her 10k, else she will go to the cops. And they decide to pay her to keep her mouth shut. But she lets them know that it will be a monthly payment. Meanwhile, one of Rio's men is captured, thinking he might spill the beans. Rio closes everything. He also cleared out the cash from Beth's house and they have lost all their earnings. Having lost their business, they all had to return to their old life. Because of this, they are not able to arrange cash for Mary Pat the next month, and she indirectly threatens Ruby in front of Stan by letting her know that she might go to the cops. And she also extorts Annie at the supermarket. Leslie was seeing this and he wanted to know what exactly is going on with Annie, and thus he pushes himself into the life of Mary Pat. Meanwhile, Stan is able to get into the police academy, and Annie gets to know that Nancy, her ex-husband's wife, is opening her third spa, and they are also planning a kid via IVF, and she is quite upset when she learns that. And since they have to pay Mary Pat, they decide to rob again. Annie, already being upset with Nancy, decides to rob her spa, as it will be having no securities and no cameras, and they hit all the locations simultaneously, stealing a liquid drug. But it being a special medical drug, they were not able to sell it. Dean, seeing Beth worried, asks her how he can help, and he is able to sell all the drugs through a doctor who lied for him when he confirmed that he had cancer, and they pay Mary off. Rio is planning to start his operations again and asks Beth to drive a truck to a location, and since all of them need cash, they decide to go for it. Not sure if its location has been compromised, they come up with a plan and all three of them drive a similar truck in order to fool the cops. But Beth is stopped by the cops, and as they open the cargo, it turns out to be empty. Rio tells Beth he was not sure if his guy has given up the location, and therefore it was a test to know what he has given up. Learning this, Beth lashes out at him since he used them as a guinea pig. Rio lets them know that he is done with them and won't be needing them anymore. Meanwhile, Ruby's daughter had a match for transplant. Afraid that Rio might come after them since they know too much, they want him gone. But since they can't go to the cops directly, as it will also implicate them, they come up with a plan. So they decide to rob the store again. But this time, they will be leaving all the cash behind for the cops to find and investigate. while takes some to get the operation done, and with some minor hiccups, they are able to pull it off again. Meanwhile, Mary Pats finds that Leslie has been spying on them, and Beth lets her know that he always wanted to get to them and has even tried to rape Annie. Dean gets involved in a minor car crash, and Beth gets to know that he never had cancer, while Ruby pays for her daughter's transplant. On the other hand, Rio's gang is busted, but Stan has been able to figure out that Ruby is involved. But when Beth returns home, she finds Rio have taken it out on Dean, and he knows it was them who were responsible for his gang being busted. And to teach her a lesson, we see that as the season ends, he wants her to shoot Dean. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, please subscribe.